Lorato, good to speak to you again. And what a transfer deadline day we have to look back on. We're taking a bit of a break from the Africa Cup of Nations, even though you can see it behind me. And we're going to talk about some of the big deals of deadline day. I think the only place we can start is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Did you see this one coming?
Definitely not this one coming. More especially at even with the way it happened, man. Like it's also weird. Yes, perhaps a move away from Arsenal Aubameyang was imminent, but not so soon, and more especially with the way it happened. I repeat. However, it is a good signing for Barcelona. They got a good one there, and hopefully, Aubameyang will use his experience to help Barcelona to re what's the word that I'm looking for?
Well, they need to get
To
back to their best,
rebirth.
don't they?
You know,
Because
to
we haven't
rebirth.
seen, yeah, we haven't seen like classic Barcelona for a long time. Obviously, they lost Aguero, who had to retire due to his heart problem. So there was a gap up there up front for an experienced striker to step in. And in
Absolutely.
Aubameyang, they maybe have the player who can do that. He was linked with a move to Saudi Arabia, Al Nasser. He was even talked about Everton, talked about Newcastle. So compared to these other destinations, he's massively landed on his feet, hasn't he?
What?
By turning up at Barcelona.
Mm, yeah. The word that I was looking for was resurrect. Resurrect. Was he also not
Yes.
linked with Juventus?
Yeah, he was as well. I thought Newcastle might make a move from him because he's the kind of marquee signing that they would surely love to get at this stage of their kind of reboot. And also with his wages of £350,000 a week, there are very few clubs who can kind of afford that, who can even think about affording that. But listen, a long time ago, Aubameyang, he said he was a Real Madrid fan. He dreamed of playing for Real Madrid. For a time, that looked like it was on the cards. Ultimately, it didn't happen. He's now ended up at Barcelona. Do you think he's going to be motivated to play for Barcelona after what we've seen from him at Arsenal over the last 18 months?
Look, it's a start of new things for Aubameyang. It's a new year. Things didn't work out for him at Arsenal for whatever reasons. It could be beyond what has been put out there for us to know. But it should be motivation enough. He's in the same league where the club that he supported for a very long time is playing. So this should be motivation enough for him to say, you know what, I am going to put everything that has happened in my football career as far as England is concerned, as far as Arsenal is concerned. Yes, I've made the 128 appearances for Arsenal. I've contributed to the 68 goals. I've played my part for at Arsenal, and I've lost so much in terms of game time, and that is going to affect my place in the national team if I don't fix that. And if it means I need to move away from Arsenal, I need to move away from England, then why not? And he could not have chosen a better league. I mean, La Liga is the best, one of the top five in the world. So it's definitely motivation enough for him to get back on track as far as his football career is concerned.
It's a bit of a shame how, like, when we look back over his time in England, he started so well and he obviously won the Golden Boot. There was so much consistency during those early years. Like he transferred his scoring form in Germany to England. He was relentless, but then it all seemed to go wrong. And the combination of losing his way on the pitch, losing his way off the pitch, the disciplinary issues, the fallout with Arteta, like, things didn't go well for the club under Unai Emery. That was kind of clear. But I was really hoping that under Arteta, after making him captain, Aubameyang could really kind of rediscover his top form. Why do you think it just didn't? You mentioned things that we don't quite know about yet, but why do you think it went so wrong for him at the Emirates Stadium?
After the disciplinary issues, if you remember, Ed, there was some stuff that kept popping up. During that process, there was now him testing positive. He went out, like everything wrong that well, that one would perceive wrong for a professional footballer, more especially considering the time that we live in now of the pandemic. And it appears as though there's just so many things that Aubameyang is doing wrong and are not the reflection of what Arsenal and Arsenal represent. You understand? So with every little thing, there was a time, a video of him trending, if I'm not mistaken, an image where he was at a party. Now this is all during the time where he's being stripped of the armband during that whole disciplinary hearing situation. So it with every little thing that he did, it made things worse for him, and it was
Yeah.
difficult for the coach to protect him. Even though I feel like to a certain extent he should have protected him. The club should have protected Aubameyang. No human being is perfect, and I am definitely certain that had he been given the chance to prove himself, that you know what, I am capable of rectifying my mistakes. I am capable of being disciplined and just focus on being myself. I am capable of going back to being that Aubameyang that possessed all the great qualities of being a great leader and a great player. But it
But
just did not
Lorato,
happen.
he had his chance. He had his chances. He had his chances on the pitch. After that slump of form, Arsenal stuck with him. And I think for a club like that, with a player who's that expensive, how long do you give? I mean, you can't give him indefinite amount of time. If the performances are there, but there are off-field problems, fair enough. If there are if the performances aren't there, but he's really trying, fair enough. But if the performances aren't there and there are off-field issues, these two things together, I think you've got to just cut loose. And I think he had the time. I just think that for whatever reason he didn't. I think he was somewhere else already. To be honest, he won the FA Cup twice, so he did leave a little bit of a legacy in North London. But ultimately, I don't blame Arteta for letting him for cutting him loose. I just blame Arteta maybe for giving him the armband, because I don't think it was the right. I didn't see the sense in that decision. I know there weren't many good candidates, but for me, Aubameyang was never going to be able to lift himself to those demands. Let's take some comments from our readers here, because we're getting quite a lot of feedback here on the Aubameyang issue. Mighty Alex, yes, Aubameyang to Barcelona, so he's clearly happy with this one. And Austin, yes, Barcelona do life. Welcome to Camp Nou with Traore Adama. Another big signing for Barcelona in the transfer window, signing Adama Traore of Wolverhampton. He looked at one point like he was going to go to Spurs. Tottenham made a 15 million bid. Obviously, Traore has now represented Spain, but he was eligible for Mali. It looked like he was going to play for Mali at one point. What do you feel as an African football fan to see Aubameyang and Traore and obviously Ansu Fati all representing Barcelona? How does that make you feel?
Look, Ed, with me, whenever African players get the opportunity or are given the opportunity to represent and show the world what Africa is capable of in terms of talent, skills, please, I cannot. I can never be more proud. Like every other African football fan, seeing our stars given the opportunity to shine in such big European leagues, it means there's something that we are doing right. I know we get a lot of criticism. If you check the AFCON, there's been a lot of criticism as to how things have been done, as if other leagues are better than us when they're even worse. But that's just a topic for another day. So when such things happen, like saying Aubameyang and the other guys are there at Barcelona, that means that there is really, really something special about African players, and I cannot wait to see them unleash all that African talent is all about.
We've got a comment here from Masangulo TK Slime, the unfortunately named Mr. Slime. He says, what about that Arsenal striker? I assume he's meaning Eddie Nketiah, who was linked with a deadline day move to Crystal Palace, but in the end he didn't get a move. He stays at Arsenal. Do you think Nketiah, he's only got 6 months left on his contract. It looks like he's going to move on in the summer. But do you think he's someone who can now step into Aubameyang's shoes and help give Arsenal the goal threat they need?
I lost you there, Ed.
I was asking whether Eddie Nketiah, young Arsenal player, can he be a replacement for Aubameyang now? Well, I think we've lost Lorato, so we're going to wrap it up there. Thank you all for joining us for this transfer deadline day recap. The Aubameyang deal, obviously the big headline in this day, and it's great to see such a high-profile player back at Barcelona. Can he make the same impact that Samuel Eto'o had at Barcelona? Obviously, he's getting on in years now, but what an achievement it would be for Aubameyang if he could maybe win the Champions League with Barcelona. What a final chapter it would be to his glorious career. A glorious career, but one which hasn't perhaps been rewarded with the silverware that a goal scorer of his quality deserves. How amazing it would be if Aubameyang could actually win a Champions League, win maybe La Liga title with Barcelona, perhaps in the years to come. Also, from an African point of view, Victor Osimhen was linked with a move to Arsenal on transfer deadline day. I thought it was very unlikely. It was the Sun who reported it. I didn't think it was going to happen. It was too late in the day, and I don't think Napoli were going to move for Osimhen. But imagine if in the summer, if Arsenal, they've got a bit of money to spend, they're looking for that striker who's going to come in and replace Aubameyang. Imagine if they turn to Victor Osimhen and we have a Super Eagles frontman in the Premier League with the Gunners for some of his peak years. Imagine how good that would be. Listen, stay tuned to Goal Africa, our social handles on site for all of the fallout, all of the reaction to transfer deadline day. And please keep the comments coming. We want to hear which of the moves that got you talking, which of the moves that got you inspired, which of the moves that have got you excited. And what about Dele Alli, player of Nigerian origin, moving to Everton? What will it mean for him? And what will it mean for Alex Iwobi? There's a lot of competition now at Goodison Park with El Ghazi coming in, with Dele Alli, with Donny van der Beek. Iwobi, can he step up? Can he make an impact at Goodison Park? We've been waiting for many years now. Will it finally happen? Or is he on his way out of Merseyside during this summer? Please send in your comments. Keep your opinions coming. Good to hear from you all. Take care. Bye.